Hi, I'm Yitzhak Berger. I teach Hebrew at Risha. In the beginning of Parashat Ki Tisa, we have the passage where Moshe is commanded to gather the half a shekel from every member of Klal Yisrael, and they were to collect them, count the people this way, give them money for korbanot. There's an interesting formulation here that lends itself to some Hasidic Torah, which is worth sharing, by an ancestor of mine named Rab Gedaliyahu Aharon of Linitz and Kanta Kaziva, lived about 150 years ago. The verse says, Zayitlu kol ha'over al ha'pekudim, anybody who passes through among those who are going to be counted, machatzit shekel, everyone has to give that half a shekel. It's an interesting formulation, and in a typical Hasidic fashion, he reread the verse to mean kol ha'over al ha'pikudim. Kol ha'over al ha'pikudim would mean anyone who transgresses the mitzvot. And he suggested the following, that what on a deeper level the verses are telling you is the following, is that people who transgress will sometimes tell themselves that any kind of tshuva that I might do, any kind of mitzvah that I might do, anything that I might add is not going to be relevant because I'm already condemned. Same thing is true for somebody who's a tzaddik, might tell themselves that one more mitzvah might not matter, or one avera might not matter. These psukim, according to this interpretation, are referring to that scale that balances out the mitzvot and avirot of Klal Yisrael every year. The machatzit hashekel, the half of the weight on each side. And the psukim are telling you that every year we're, after all, supposed to look at these zechuyot, the merits and lack thereof of Klal Yisrael, as being balanced, so that we should look at every single act that we can do as tilting the balance for all of the klal in one direction or another. Not just a matter of what I can do for myself, but how my actions are going to impact on everyone else. And so the pasuk tells us, kol ha'over al ha'pikudim, anyone who transgresses the mitzvot, and who might think that what he can contribute is not relevant, still has to give, because anything that that person gives could tip the balance. Ha'ashir lo yarbeh, somebody who is wealthy, who feels like he has a lot, lo yarbeh, v'hadal lo yamid, somebody who feels like he has too little. No, they all have to do exactly what God commanded and try to fulfill the mitzvot properly, because anything that they do or don't do could tip the scales in either direction. And when you look at a certain interesting change in the singular to plural here, and you see a basis for this reading on its own midrashic level, of course, where the verses begin in singulars, kol ha'over al ha'pekudim, right? Anyone who is over, not ovrim, yitain trumat Hashem, has to give in the singular. But in the end, it's lechaper al nafshoteichem. You have to give the Trumat Hashem kedei lechaper al nafshoteichem, in order to atone for all of Klal Yisrael together, because any individual's mitzvah or any individual's avera, anyone's contribution in one direction or another is not just a matter of how they impact on themselves, even if they themselves are already condemned or they themselves are already written for a good life. The bottom line is that for all of Klal Yisrael, things can tip in one direction or another. Every individual's contribution can tip things in one direction or another. Shabbat shalom.